A bit ago, I discussed Tigerstar and his many clones. Another cat who gets cloned frequently is Firestar. Firestar clones tend to be a bit less uniform than Tigerstar clones, so there will be a bit of discussion on what makes a cat a Firestar clone in particular in this video alongside their rankings. These are just my personal opinions, and this is just for fun, so don't get too heated in the comments over this. The cats will be talked about in introduction order and will be listed on an SDF scale, meaning we are starting with Firestar and ending with Nightheart. Before we get started, if you are new to this channel, please think about subscribing. I regularly post both Wings of Fire and Warrior Cats content, so you'll never be bored. And to my current subscribers, thank you so much for supporting me. I would have gone here without y'all. Let's start with Firestar himself, as is tradition. I feel like in the fandom, he's been flattened down into the goody two-shoes. However, before he became leader, Firestar got into a fair amount of trouble, even if it was good trouble, like helping RiverClan while they dealt with the poisoning. Part of the reason this may be is because he's a bit more settled down after becoming leader, which does make sense, and because he's no longer our protagonist, we don't get to see his personality as much. Firestar being the fourth cat is a bit cliche, but to be fair, who else could the fourth cat be, so I see no reason to take any points off. Firestar gets a solid S rating. Next on the list is obviously Squirrelflight. Squirrelflight is Firestar's daughter, and a perfect heir to him. She looks like him a lot. I mean, look at the covers for their super editions next to each other. Not only that, but Squirrelflight is Firestar's successor for always sticking up for what is right, despite the consequences. Squirrelflight doesn't just have to stand up to her leader, that leader is her mate, which makes her attitude even more inspiring. Squirrelflight, to no one's surprise, earns a solid S rank for me, making her the first clone to receive an S rank. I love her. Next up is Firefern. Bet you weren't expecting her. Firefern is the kits of Billy, Storm, and Leaf Star, and was named after, you guessed it, Firestar. Firefern doesn't just share her name with Firestar, she also shares his pelt color, earning her a slot on this list. Now, who is Firefern exactly? Firefern was one of the kits kidnapped by Harvey, who later became known as Soul. She is the first cat to see Ravenpaw when he journeys to SkyClan. After SkyClan is driven from the gorge by the kin, a sickness appears which claims her life. One headcanon I have about Firefern is that she got her suffix from Photopea, who helped Leafstar escape the two-legged den. That makes her a cat named after two other cats. Firefern is a perfectly average cat. I can't find anything too wrong with her, so she gets a solid C from me, as that is an average grade, I feel. Now it is the time to bring in everyone's favorite anxious boy, Alderheart. I feel like he started off strong. His arc of becoming a healer was interesting, even if it did make him the 5th ThunderClan healer in an almost unbroken row, to be forced into becoming a healer, or at least pushed into it by extenuating circumstances. I especially enjoyed his relationship with Sandstorm. It's rare that grandchild-grandparents relationships in Warrior Cats exist, beyond a mention in a prophecy, and the only other one I can remember is Silverflame and Yellowfang, and Silverfang died early into this book. Alderheart was excellent in the first book. However, he pretty much got ripped off after that, as he, as a protagonist, didn't have much to do. The only thing he did after that was the Sickness arc, which everyone forgets about, the Silverthorn, and Puddleshine. I have to give him a B because he didn't have much to do in the end, but he did have a solid start. After him, we have his sister, Sparkpelt. Sparkpelt got overlooked in A Vision of Shadows and didn't have much of an arc. Everyone under the sun has pointed this out because it's true, but Sparkpelt should have had Nightheart's character arc. She later gets her character better explored after her mate dies when she's pregnant. She goes through a bit of a depression over it, which is rare to see in warriors, as often characters are looked down upon for mourning for too long. Like Bluestar in the latest arc she was in, she got severely perspective butchered in order to fit a pro-Nightheart narrative, but I'm still hoping that he's an unreliable narrator. Sparkpelt gets a B from me. She had a rough start, redeemed herself as an interesting character, and then went back to being eh. On to the final cat. Woo! So, Nightheart. If I could not include him on this list, I wouldn't. He is a black cat who the Aarons are convinced looks like an orange one. His personality is nothing at all like the original Firestar, and half of what he does is complain rather than seek out change. The only reason why he is here is that the Aarons think that he's a Firestar clone? I don't want to discuss him more than necessary, so let me just leave you with a funny little video that I find to be the definition of his personality.
Hey Goop, what's up? Cool binder. Hey Goop, wanna come over to my house today?
They all hated me.
I have to give Nightheart an F. Sorry Nightheart fans, he's just too annoying. So those are my opinions on all the cats, and feel free to give your opinion on all the Firestar clones down below. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe. I make Wings of Fire and Warrior Cats videos pretty often, and your support would mean a lot to me. And to those who have already subscribed, thank you for your continued support. I wouldn't have gotten here without y'all. Peace, Rogan out.